Hi there, and welcome to Celeb Hut. You all right now? This story previously took a turn that I was not expecting. So Clive Davis is over Arista, which is over Diddy's terrible kid record presently. Supposedly, Diddy got kneeling down for Clive Davis in 1994, and that is the way Terrible Kid Records came about. All this plotting has quite recently thickened, and it's beginning to seem like there's something else to Diddy's claim with the federal authorities. Besides, we knew on the grounds that word on the roads that Diddy is supposedly being set up by the federal authorities in an obscure alliance for certain exceptionally influential individuals in Hollywood, and as per Eddie Griffin, those influential individuals are, in all honesty, Clive Davis and Lucian Grainge. Now, this is exceptionally fascinating in light of the fact that, in Little Bar's claim, he guaranteed that Lucian Grainge was supposedly empowering Diddy's terrible way of behaving and obscure exercises since he was benefiting off of it. Yet now that they've been uncovered, Eddie Griffin guarantees that they have turned on Diddy and are supposedly scheming with the federal authorities to set him up and make him accept all negative consequences for them. Yet does Diddy actually have some soil on Lucian and Clive, and has he truly been coercing them for quite a long time? How about we stall this tea? My concentrate right now is Sean comes. Okay, explain to us why. Explain to us why, since he's a sex dealer and he's utilizing music and diversion to sex traffic, all this present circumstance with Diddy has been quite possibly of the most insane and most out-of-control story that we've found in quite a while, in light of the fact that each time that we begin believing that we comprehend what's happening, something insane ends up demonstrating we don't have a clue about the portion of what's going on. In the background, yet presently Eddie Griffin is uncovering that the strike on Die by Country Security was supposedly an arrangement between the federal authorities and a few influential individuals in Hollywood. The two names that he dropped were Clive Davis and Lucian Gr. Now, harking back to the 90s when Hip Jump was on the ascent, Diddy grabbed Clive's eye. You see, Diddy was youthful, brie, and rugged, and he had enormous thoughts that Hip Bounce was heading for good things. And some way or another, he figured out how to sell Clive all in all things. Yet in a flash, Clive's tossing his weight behind Diddy's Terrible Kid Records, encouraging him and giving him the general tour with Clive's help. Diddy shoots up to the positions of Hip Bounce eminent, stowed-away levels he had never at any point even longed for hitting without Clive close by. Yet here's where things begin to get a little MKI. There have been tales drifting around the business for a very long time about what truly went down among Diddy and Clive. Some time ago, it's not just about music you see word on the roads, is that Diddy exceeded all expectations to keep Clive cheerful. On the off chance that you get my meaning, they say Diddy secured his opportunity by well offering a few courtesies to C.L. Davis back in '94. And that is obviously the way that Awful Kid Records came to be presently. There's a hypothesis that Diddy and Clyde were much something beyond colleagues, and that they had a little something happening away from plain view, perhaps some saving the sentiment. Secretive for a decent 5 years, and when you felt that it was all tattle, Clive chooses to spill tea about himself in his diary. He came right out and said he goes either way, affirming what a ton of people have been thinking for some time now. I was just going to sexual openness after my subsequent marriage bomb, so it was anything but an issue through my life. Neither of my relationships were impacted. I was completely drawn to ladies. When the marriage fizzled during the ADS, I freed myself, up to the likelihood that I could have a relationship with a man, as well as the two that I had with a lady, presently. Once upon a time, Diddy was working for Andre Harrella Uptown Records as per Puma. Right. Andre purportedly had little something happening with Clyde until Diddy came into the story and purportedly began tossing it back for Clive, ruler, who in the end unloaded Andre for Diddy. I genuinely believe he's simply an outrageous egotist who loves influence. He cherishes the capacity to roll and control individuals. Why, undoubtedly, in light of the fact that he was exploited by his coach, who wanted to control individuals, and his guide was Andre. Let us know how Tutor by Clyde Davis are asserted that Diddy then, at that point, went, despite Andre's good faith, to give his very own break with Clive, removing Andre of the situation, and don't let me know that Andre Harrell got moved by Clive Davis. Also, I'm letting you know I don't have any idea what occurred among Andre and Clive W. I can be sure of is that Andre got disregarded. Like, how would you go from being the leader of Uptown and losing your whole organization to like Puppy began as an understudy. Now this show is all among Clive and Diddy. And it ought to have been on the off chance that Diddy didn't choose to exaggerate his hand and record this load of freaky stuff that he purportedly had continuing, and it might have stayed confidential in the event that Lil Pole had not. Exhibitions, Diddy's accounts, in the frame of mind, as per Little Bar Diddy supposedly had his home, who wired more firmly than the CIA when he guaranteed that Diddy had cameras in each and every room in his home, recording the obscure stuff that continued. Now Clive is a transparently gay man and not on the DL any longer, but rather, given the insane stuff that has been accounted for, to go on at Dide's gatherings and in his homes. We should say that no one needs that sort of business out there, particularly not on record, but rather purport. Tedley Clive isn't the main top dog that Eddie Griffin named in light of the fact that he likewise claimed that Lucian GR, who is the head of Widespread Music Bunch, OMG, was purportedly in all thing on the off chance that it's simply a speedy quick hit on the mother's party, nigga, or you won't call the press and express we going to hit Puffy's den, you about to raise a ruckus around town and they about to need to catch wind of that through the grave line and rush down there as fast as they can. Why? No. We seen the flying shot of them driving up and showing up at this mother's den. Someone's behind is someone far up the stepping stool. And I feel that stepping stool is the head of General Music Gathering. He brought in his fav from his companions. Eddie proceeded to guarantee that Cly and Luan supposedly sacrificed Diddy to take care of themselves, since they understood that Diddy purportedly had tapes of them in full oddity mode. They required those tapes, so they coordinated this assault definite. Iling, that is the beast and the head of all-inclusive music bunch. He's put Diddy up, and they forfeiting Diddy. They said, you gotta take this, we can't be involved yet. Diddy shrewd, he recorded each meeting. He was Clive and the freak kid that run a general music bunch. Well, that is the reason they attacking the house, since they got companions in country security and the federal authorities, and they expressed to arrive and get them tapes from this. He attempting to coerce us. That is the thing I accept is going on. You all, that is most certainly a ton to unload, and a ton of it sort of adds up, particularly when you consider the way that Lil Bar additionally named Lucian Grainge and UMG for purportedly empowering Diddy to do these awful things. The Coeur report said, among the substantial advances that litigants Lucian Charles Guillard and Widespread Music Gathering took to help the Brushes, EXT dealing adventure between around 2000 and going on through November 2023, respondents. Lucian Charles Grainge and Widespread Music Gathering const its conveyance of huge amounts of money, likely large number of dollars, to Mr. Combs and his partners. The record proceeded to blame Lucian and UMG for supposedly going well beyond to safeguard Diddy's supposed EXT dealing activity. It guaranteed that Lucian and UMG resolutely tumbled to convenient record required charge revelations, encompassing the financing of these EXT dealing parties with the national government on the grounds that Doe so would risk its capacity to benefit from the EXT dealing adventure. It likewise blamed them for benefiting from the activity, and that they purportedly keep on assisting Diddy with concealing the activity since they're raking in tons of cash from it. Purportedly, Lil Rod, was most certainly not bashful in his claim, and neither did he keep whatever down on the grounds that the claims proceeded to say the respondents, Lucian Charles Graham, and Widespread Music Gathering, purposely took part in EXT dealing and promoted the company's EXT dealing adventure. The substantial strides above comprised participating in the EXT dealing adventure and were vital for its prosperity. The substantial advances comprised dynamic commitment by respondents in COM's EXT dealing adventure. You all, it seems to be a ton of these unique pieces are beginning to fit together. And 2 plus 2 is certainly equivalent in 4, since it's intriguing the way in which Diddy didn't get struck after Little Bar's underlying claim, yet after Bar corrected the claim to incorporate Lucian Grainge and uncover how Diddy was recording the obscure exercises that were occurring, and out of nowhere, the fans chose to engage and attack Diddy's home. Yet not capture him, no doubt. Something's not. Including, curiously, 2 or 3 individuals have made this equivalent case before. Like Candace Owens, who tweeted the federal authorities are as of now striking Diddy's home. They definitely understood what he was doing. Yet he will be the fall fellow, so they can safeguard individuals at the highest point of the ring. They are attacking his home to conceal proof, not to find it. That is the way this works, but rather fans addicio. Nally remarked, Eddie, like feline, never lied. There's an explanation. Diddy presently can't seem to be captured, and he's out trekking and hanging out. He got everything they needed, those tapes, and I'm saying to you, it's more to it. Diddy is the symbol of atonement here. He's not yet guilty. Subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.